At the very beginning of episode 3, we see that the darkness has already reached the Golden Wasteland and is slowly making its way toward Eden. Now, all the people living outside the Wasteland Temple were being lined up and moved inside so their lives could be saved. But in the meantime, the dark shadow of the darkness had almost leapt over the protective walls of the Wasteland and slipped inside. Now, the smoke-like thing coming from the darkness might look normal at first, but this is actually the main cause affecting the sky world and all the nearby people and creatures, making them fall infected. This smoke is so dangerous that in the next scene, even the Wasteland's commander, whom you could also call the future elder, has his mask slightly cracked near the eyes after being hit by it. In the very next scene, we see the Krill, sometimes called the Dark Dragon, tearing through the soldiers, and honestly, I was shocked to see just how much more aggressive this Krill is compared to the one in the Sky game. Since this isn't just a regular explanation video but a breakdown, I'd like to share a few details about Krill here. Yes, you could say this is my own theory, but it's a strong one, let me explain. If you look at the Krill of today, it's much calmer compared to before. It doesn't act aggressively, and the color of its radar-like eyes is blue, as if it has been neutralized. And if you pay attention to its actions, you'll notice that when you enter its field of vision, its eye color changes from blue to red, and the color of its eyesight radius also turns red. Red means danger, blue means neutral. And on top of that, our Krill even gives you a few seconds of leeway so you can hide somewhere or quickly escape from its grasp. My Krill knows I'm just here to mess around, so these days it won't even bother playing hide and seek with me anymore. But if you look at the animated Krill, it's furious from the very start. Its eyes are red from the beginning, and its reaction time is much faster than the one in the game. Now, just as this Krill is about to attack our Wasteland Elder, the tower's light turns on, and seeing it, the Krill immediately bolts from the scene. After that, one by one, all the tower's lights start turning on, and even Eden's massive mountain begins to glow. Up until now, everything seemed fine, like we were finally going to be free from this darkness and the Krill. But believe me, this light won't last for long. Now in the next scene, we see a man standing above, watching everything, and another person walks up to him and bows, almost like offering a warm greeting. I probably don't need to tell you who these two are, since most of you are smart enough to know already. But for those watching this video for the first time, let me explain. Wearing a long dark robe and a strange three-pointed mask, this is the king of the sky world. He controls Eden and the massive diamond-shaped stone placed there, to keep the darkness from taking over the entire sky world. And the other one who bowed is the Elder of Vault. Now in the next scene, we see the tower's lights slowly fading out, while the soldiers there keep replacing the tower's batteries so it can keep shining, preventing the darkness from taking over the entire area. But since they probably don't have enough fully charged batteries left, it's becoming harder and harder for them to keep the towers running. Even the mechanism behind these towers is connected to the king himself, who uses the diamond-shaped stone of Eden to keep them and the surrounding defense towers alight. But now, even that is starting to grow dim. Now he's left with no choice but to order that any surviving light creatures in the nearby regions be captured, so their light can be consumed to recharge the batteries and keep the towers shining. After this, whatever happens, the king would pretty much be seen as a villain because of this action, right? But guys, I think if he had any other choice, he probably wouldn't have done this. After all, he was doing all this to save some people and children who had come from all over the world. Now, after receiving these orders, all the soldiers below begin searching for all the nearby light creatures. Now, all those people who had raised these light creatures as their pets have to sacrifice their beloved animals one by one. Here we see the stern shepherd, who may have seemed rude at first, but in this situation, he's helplessly watching his manatee being taken, feeling nothing but sorrow. Now, the steward is watching all of this unfold from a high place, when suddenly the soldiers bring small pillar-like devices and place them in front of the herds of manatees. After this, those pillar-like devices, with a diamond-shaped crystal in the center, start draining the light from these innocent creatures. Seeing all this, the steward suddenly panics and leaves, because he also had a friend with him, a light creature manatee that he had lovingly raised since childhood. Now as he leaves, he also takes with him the candles made of light fragments, as if he had saved them for this very emergency. Seeing this candle reminds me of the white candle, the one we use for friendship or purchasing items. Now, as the two of them run away, the tower's lights go out one by one, and seeing all this, the steward grows sad, as if the end has already come. The darkness spreads like a heavy veil, slowly engulfing the last city in its shadow. The steward's small shelter, the place he once called home, is swept away in the storm of darkness. Watching all these scenes feels so emotionally heavy that it's hard to even put into words. Just think about it. He was an innocent child who lost his childhood, who lost his mother, and then lost the only home he had left. Now he's running, trying to save the manatee he's raised since childhood, because this might be the last thing in the world that he truly considers his own. Now, sneaking past all this, the steward reaches the temple gate, where everyone else is entering for shelter. The sad part was that he also needed shelter because he couldn't stay outside like that, otherwise both of them would have fallen into the clutches of darkness and been lost. He also tries to sneak in there, but in the end he gets caught by the wasteland soldiers. This was the second most heartbreaking moment of the Two Embers Part 1, because what happens next, you all must have felt. These scenes were so heart-wrenching that you can imagine me sitting down to edit and not wanting to watch this moment again. But since I'm doing a breakdown, I'll point it out. Here, the same thing happened with this innocent manatee that had happened with the stern shepherd's herd of manatees. But in the meantime, the old elder who had helped the steward in the beginning arrives to help and pushes over the light-consuming device, stopping it from causing harm. But by then, it was probably already too late. Now, the noteworthy thing here is that when the elder pushes the device, you can see a faint crystal-like effect near his head, which you can think of as a kind of injury, like a wound or something. Now we have seen this wound many times. Earlier this wound was also seen on the hand of Steward's mother. Even before Steward's timeline, this disease-like wound existed. Yes guys, here we are talking about Resh's timeline, which will be the Two Embers Part 2, essentially the prequel. Anyway, let's get back to the scene. By this time, darkness is entering the last city, consuming everything. The soldiers are stationed, ready to fight bravely, and the poor steward is still trying to hide his injured manatee. By this moment, the steward's manatee had its light completely consumed. It had become weak and frail, with those crystal-like wounds appearing all over its body. He tried to rescue his manatee and save its life by lighting candles made from melted pieces of light, but by the time he did all this, his only friend, his companion, was gone. By the end of this sequence, we see that darkness has engulfed the last city, the towers are crumbling, the soldiers are being overwhelmed by the Krills, and the steward is walking away, completely despondent. And in his hands, he's clutching that precious childhood toy he had made with his mother, the very one his manatee friend once loved to play with, now the only fragile piece of his lost world he still holds onto. Have you ever been betrayed by the world and lost your helpless animal friend? If you have, then all of this will shake something deep inside you. In the final scene, the steward finds the broken device lying on the ground, the same device that has already taken the lives of these innocent beings. He looks toward the castle atop Mount Eden, where he sees the king he holds responsible for all of this. Filled with rage, he picks up a broken sharp crystal from the shattered device and heads straight for him.